right, Shalawam, Shalawam. Just double checking the audio right quick before we move forward. We're doing good. All right. So before we begin, we would like to go ahead and face the east and give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Qadash. A Shalawam to the hopeful elect out there, you men, women, and children who believe in the Heavenly Father through His only begotten Son, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. And the brother got his camera set up, so I'll try to be mindful. If you want to, I don't know if you think that's close enough or not. That's up to you.
Drag it more forward?
Yeah, you can probably pull it in a little closer, a little more personal, like that. Come on, so we got the both live streams going. Lord willing, if people show up, we can manhandle the camera, have them, because ultimately through the Spirit, me and the brother were going into it. When people come up and if they truly feel like they have something important to say, they shouldn't have some type of disagreement about being recorded. Because anybody that comes up, if you have something to say, we're going to record it. If you don't like that fact, then keep on walking. Don't even stop at the camp. So let's get straight into it. The brother, he's going to go ahead and open up with Galatians chapter 5, and I believe, what was that, 25? We'll go ahead and open up with that, and then we'll move with that.
Galatians 5 and 25. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit.
Read verse 26, Baba Shah, as well.
Galatians 5 and 26. Let us not be serious of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another.
So yeah, we don't want to be caught up in carnal things. We must live in the Spirit. It's easy to be in the, let me try to fix this. It's easy to try to be trying to please men. It's easy to try to please your boss, try to please your woman, try to please your so-called friends in this life. But ultimately, what we're trying to do on this side is please YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi by walking in the Spirit, putting forth action in spiritual things, which is what you see right now. This is a spiritual action. We're not doing this on behalf of ourselves, but on behalf of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. That's why, ultimately, you don't make, brothers, I know I have this bad habit of not remembering brothers' names, but I guarantee a majority of these brothers are going to tell you it's not about us and our names. It's about YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Hey, Shalawam to the brother on the comment board. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, Barakatah. That's spiritual too. The brother's name is plain upon tables. Me and the brother were going into that. The Lord made this Bible plain for those that are meant to understand it. He didn't make it to where the entire world has access to this word. That's why you see that the Bible is the #1 selling book, but it's the #1 misunderstood book. People don't understand what the Bible represents and what it means. You see, the Bible was a book set up to guide the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, which are Israelites according to that book. And it's plain unto us, and we understand it. And these other nations, they're deceivers. But getting back to this lesson, what the brother had opened up with, I'll read it from Galatians 5 and 25. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So we got to do our best to dedicate our time to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Be mindful. The Spirit was on me earlier to think, if I could, every hour just give praises to the Lord. Because, we can never do enough. But it's just to keep you in that spiritual mindset of every hour we have on this earth is ultimately to try to dedicate it to Him. What good is it to dedicate it to ourselves, our flesh, when this needs to be done away with. The Lord just needs to take our spirits and put it in new bodies if we be found deserving. That's what salvation is, to be put in another level where these people can't touch you. These people your own body can't corrupt you, make you go and do something you shouldn't be doing. But that's why we got to be a discerner. We got to have discernment and know what's good for us and what's not. Know what to keep around and what to throw away. That's why, the elders of, they always go into it. There's a house cleansing. Within the body of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, the Lord's getting rid of the unnecessary. And we don't want to be found in that category. We don't want to be found in that lot. So through fear of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, we're striving to please Him. Not ourselves, not our women, but ultimately the Lord. You see, that's what we're putting this vessel known as a body, a physical earthly body. We're putting this to be put into the test. Because angels don't gotta worry about going against the Lord. They're naturally gonna do what the Lord told them to. That's what they're set up for. They're spirits. They're set for right or wrong. A demon has to be a demon. A righteous angel is gonna be a righteous angel. They're not gonna go against that. But us, we're in this predicament, if that's the proper word, where we have to figure out right from wrong. We have to be babes. coming into this truth, no matter what age you may be found at. Or whatever age the Lord may brought you in. Because a lot of people that claim to believe in the Heavenly Father still have this funny idea that they chose God. No, the Lord's going to choose you and change your life because that's the way he set you up to be. He's going to allow you to understand that you never had free will. You see, the men of written out in the scriptures, they didn't have a choice. They were meant to be the men of the Lord. The same thing with all these demons. The demons had no choice but to be evil. So right now we're living in a time to see what evil is. If you want to know what evil is, look at everything that's promoted in this society. Look at the man that runs the society. If you don't understand who that man is, look at the back of your dollar bill. Tell me what nationality that is. That's the so-called white man. That's the Edomites according to the Bible. But you don't know them today as Edomites because they've hid themselves. They've hid themselves in a byword or a proverb. So-called white, so-called Caucasian, so-called, what else do they run by? Europeans, so-called Russians, so-called Americans. The list could go on and on. But when you get into this book that's made plain, they're known as the Edomites. Now, we're not about physical appearances. We're about the spirit. Because brothers come in various shades and colors. You see, so the Lord made this plain unto us. You have to be dealt with through the spirit, tying it back into how the Lord chooses who he gives his spirit to. Now, we're hoping that we can maintain it and persevere through this obstacle called life. Because, hey, man, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have challenges, and you're going to have to hope and pray that you're man enough. You're man enough to go through it, man. Be a man for YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that next precept for you. This is going to be Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So it's not going to be a pleasing time for the world. And I'm talking about every people on this earth. It's not going to be a pleasing time. The only ones that are going to find comfort is the elect. Because they're going to be the ones that are going to be spared from the Lord's wrath. They're going to be spared from that ultimate judgment of being burnt by missiles. But continuing, verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So we could get deeper into this, but to keep it plain, it's judgment. The Lord's going to have you found out either way. If it's your calling to be put to death, to be put to your, to see troubles. Verse 20, shall not the day of YAHAWAH be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? And yeah, because Yahawashi is not going to be coming back and congratulating the Edomites, congratulating the wicked of you Israelites out there who still refuse to be acknowledging that you're an Israelite, who refuse your father, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. You refuse your Savior, Yahawashi. You refuse to return and be obedient. So the Lord's going to refuse to accept you. You know, just to put it plain, man, because it's not going to be a day that's going to be filled with joy. You know, the only ones that are going to find that joy are the elect. The 144,000, and then the men, women, and children beyond that are going to have be found with mercy and with grace. But I'm going to go ahead and jump. If you got that next one out. Or actually, let me grab this one right quick. So before we grab this next precept, I wanted to grab this. Because we're going to jump to Revelation, the hour of temptation, that test all the nation of Israel, which is going to be the elect, that are going to pass, is that hour of temptation. Ate the water. The brother has a precept, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. The brother, plain upon table 777, 2 Ezra 7 and 43. And it reads, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. And there you, hey, beautiful. The brother said exactly what, I was getting at, but through the Bible, because that's ultimately what's got to speak. When we come out here, we got to let the Bible speak for itself. Of course, we do our best to break it down for a new listener, maybe a newfound a sheep that was lost. But they're going to come to that humble spirit of acceptance of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Acknowledgement. But that was beautiful. I'm going to grab that again. That was on point. The water once again. 2 Ezra 7 and 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. And that the time we're living in is with Esau ruling, his authority, and the beginning of the immortality for to come. So because the next kingdom to come is going to be a forever kingdom. There's not going to be an end wherein corruption is past and all wickedness is going to be done away with. And if any of these other nations try to go against us, they're just going to be put into correction, you know, however the Lord chooses to have that occur. But we know what they did to our people, so it's only fair if the Lord, you know, has us, you know, do righteously, you know, correcting them. I'll put it that way. We're going to correct them in a righteous sense. We're not going to be taking their women. We're not going to be moving in an evil way, an evil manner. We're going to be moving so correct because we're going to be in those immortal bodies that are not set up to be sinful. But since the brother had grabbed that, this is the one I wanted to grab. This is Sirach 21:2. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. So that's the condition we're in right now. We got to run from the whole idea of being a sinner, from the idea of doing wrong. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. Because when you see a rattlesnake out here in Texas, you're not going to stand there and pet it. You're not going to stand there and sit down and take a break from your journey and just relax with the serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men. And an advocate for sin is Satan. Satan is a roaring lion. Let's grab that. This is going to be 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant. So, hey, stay aware. Don't be moving like an idiot. Don't be under the influence 24/7, unaware of what's going on, unaware that you're simply a servant on this side. You see? Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Hey, so Satan's gonna try to sift you. He doesn't want you on the on a righteous path. He doesn't want you moving correctly. He's going to be upset with you. So he's going to, hey, what Satan's going to do, he's going to send people to try to overthrow you. You see? But if we be found with Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, that's not going to happen. We're not going to be one to be slipped up. You see? And even if that were to occur, the scriptures say a just man falleth 7 times and gets back up. Because that proves right there we're not set to be perfect right now. We're striving for perfection. We may be found perfect in the eyes of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, because he understands what we're capable of and what we're not. He understands that we're doing our best to honor him by keeping his ways. We're not like the people of this world who find an excuse for every way to please Satan, please themselves. Hey, the water once again. The brother commented once again. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up right here before it fades away. Psalms 38:19. And if you want to grab that next one, Axalakia, I'm going to grab this one for the brother. Because, yeah, it's beautiful, man. We're ultimately called to do the work. And this is the work. So this was Psalms 38:19. Let me double check that. So this is going to be Psalms 38, verse 19 through 20. But mine enemies are lively, and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. Hey, so evils have multiplied on this earth. You know, beginning with the other nations, and then our people, who really took advantage of the instant gratification that comes from being wicked. Our people, you know, naturally we're leaders. So if you want to talk about how all these nations are evil, our people dominated Esau. Esau can't make a rap record about murdering his own people the way Jake can. That's nothing to boast about. That's a fucking shame unto our people. Jacob will get known in the city for selling drugs to his own people. You know, building a whole empire like 50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. These niggas are so caught up on money. These dollar bills will not save you. Benjamin Franklin is not going to save you. You need Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. You can't, like the brother mentioned to me earlier today. Drake boasted about dying and burying his money in his grave. You know how stupid you got to be to think that's something to flex? Don't get me wrong. Money is a defense. It's a tool. But you got to know how to use that tool. You got to know how to operate on this earth and through the Spirit. As we opened up with Galatians 5:25, we got to live and walk by in the Spirit. The Spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Verse 20. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. So just because we try to do good as Abel did, you know, like the Lord told Cain, I grabbed this earlier. Let me see if I can find it. This is what the Lord had told Cain. This is the word of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? So this is a question to you wicked ass Israelites and you other nations, man. You're doomed. You're preset. You're like a video game. When you set up a character or you set up a movie, you're going to have the bad guy and you're going to have the good guy. The bad guy are you other nations and our people who choose to follow and trust in you and your ways. But this is what it says. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted, Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. If you do right, shouldn't you be accepted by the Lord? That's what it's asking. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And what did we read in Sirach? You got to run away from sin like it's a snake ready to take your life. That's what sin is. The wages of sin is death. You want to die, go and be a sinner. Go and eat pork. Go and eat crabs, lobster, shrimp. Go get tatted up. Go serve other gods. Go sleep with men if you're a man. Go do it. If you want to fucking die, go do that. But of course, if you're a rational person and you could think, you're not going to want to do it. That's what fearing the Lord is, because even the scriptures say in the book of Hebrews, don't fear men who could take your life. Fear the Lord who could take your life and bring you back and put you in hell. Have you reborn with all types of fucked up disabilities? Come on, man. The Lord's a fearful power, a power to be feared. But like he said, this is the word of the Lord. Man, I love this precept. Galatians 4:7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And there you, man. So we got to learn how to rule over our own flesh. That's going to be led, you know, by temptations, unless we're able to call it out and correct it. You know, just like when you're driving, they teach you if you mess up and you get tickets, you get pulled over, they take your license, they may have you take defensive driving. You got to learn how to be defensive, learn how to defend yourself. Okay, I may be driving correct, but I got to watch out for the rest of these idiots that are texting. These people that don't want to follow the simple stop sign, the simple red lights. Because the Lord will send a spirit out there to take your life if you don't even serve him. So ultimately, tying it back with the driving reference, there's a video out there I had shared. A woman had broke up with her boyfriend, whatever, and she was going like 100 on a 30. 100 miles per hour on a 30 and just took like so many lives, but yet she lived. So imagine what type of feelings she may have, you know, because it may be scarier to live after you committed such a crime. I know there was a Jake too who was drunk driving and he killed the man. And he's like, man, I was about to graduate. I just ruined my life. Because now his judgment is to sit behind bars while the rest of the world continues on. Because when you got locked up, that's why people come out confused on having to catch up with times, because time goes on, man. Whether you're alive, whether you're locked up, time's going to move forward. So we got to do our best to stay on hastening the day of Yahawashi's return. Yahawah in the name Yahawashi. That's what we're looking for. Because Yahawashi was prophesied in the Old Testament to come. He came and lived and died and was resurrected. He came back. You know, not like some damn zombie. Because the people of this world, they still think, you know, carnally. You know, and they still, you know, let's just move forward with the lesson, Baba Kusha.
Revelations 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all of the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
To try them that dwell upon the earth. Aren't we on the earth right now? Why the hell is Elon Musk so worried about going to Mars? Because these guys know ultimately they're going to be judged. The hour of temptation isn't just going to be for the nation of Israel, but overall, all nations. You know, the Lord ain't going to find an Edomite and think, oh, I'm going to spare you just because I chose to. No. And who knows? Maybe the Lord will just have them put in chains. But this overall Bible that's made plain upon tables is only for our people. You other nations are going to live by it when we're in authority. Right now, we're living under Esau's playbook. His rules. He's the quarterback. We got to just see how he decides to run the show. He's the coach, whatever. But ultimately, you know, we're going to have to rule over you people with those immortal bodies. And that, because we can't rule right now. We're learning the process of what true rulership looks like. We're just babes. We're learning what's right from wrong. But us even just being babes to this world, we don't care what type of wisdom you claim to have. If it's not the wisdom of this Bible, you ain't nothing. We're talking about the creator of the heavens and the earth. To hell with your college degree. To hell with your internships. Your, apprenticeship. What's that other one? Trade schools. You know, being the top mechanic in West Texas ain't going to get you saved, man. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. Being the #1 NBA draft pick is not going to get you salvation. So that's why, hey, brothers have came from many walks of life and dedicated and stepped away from this world and dedicated themselves to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. To hell with being the top musicians. To hell with being a #1 athlete. This place is meant to be put away, done with, gone. So that hour of temptation, you got to be prepared mentally. We're preparing to tell Esau hell no when it comes to bowing down to him and serving him. You know, 2 Maccabees. Let me see if I could grab that right quick. When you go into the book of 2 Maccabees, it goes into how, chapter 7, I want to say. I want to make sure I'm right on 2 Maccabees. How our people, you know, we have to deny these other so-called gods. We have to deny these idols. We have to deny Esau. Because that's what it's going to come down to, that hour of temptation. Here it is, 2 Maccabees chapter 7. This is verse 16. 2 Maccabees 7, verse 16. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt. And isn't that what Esau pushes? Doest what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. That's free will, what they talk about. That's what Satan pushes. He pushes that this world is yours. And you do whatever the hell you want and you're going to prosper. Just like what these churches push. That's witchcraft. It says, continuing, Thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of Yahawah. So don't think that we've been abandoned as the Lord's people. As a so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, the Lord did not abandon us. But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. And that's what you're about to see, the ultimate judgment on these Edomites. The Lord, after that hour of temptation, because Esau's trying to set himself up to be a god. And to a lot of my people, he is. He's the guy they go to for food stamps. He's the guy that he goes to for WIC and SNAP benefits and that $5,000 credit they get for being immigrants and brought to America. Esau's setting up a civil war right in front of our very faces. He wants the nations to rise up against each other. He wants a race war. But guess what? That's always been a thing. Esau has always plotted against the nation of Israel. You know why? Because Deuteronomy 7 goes into how we're a chosen people. Let's grab that. If you could grab that up. It should be Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. But let me jump to it just to be sure. I'll check that. Go to Deuteronomy 14 and 1. I believe that one's accurate.
14 and 1?
Yeah, just check that one. Yeah, so I got Deuteronomy 7 and 6, so that's accurate. Let me check for you too if you're still trying to find it.
Which one did you say, bro?
14 and 1.
I pulled it up.
Gone. What does it read?
Deuteronomy 14 and 1.
Oh, Salak, yeah, that's not it. That's going to be... Okay, Deuteronomy 7 and 14. Salak, yeah. While the brother pulls that one up, I'm gonna grab this one. Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. To prove why we're hated as a nation. For thou, this is to you Israelites, the entire Bible, like I mentioned earlier, is written to the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel today isn't known as the nation of Israel. They're known as the so-called black man, the so-called brown man, Hispanic man, so-called Native American man. But according to this Bible, we're the nation of Israel.
Did you keep the comment as well?
Yeah, the brother throw out an act for commenting precepts. We'll get to him, Lord willing. We'll grab these two and then jump to the comment board because, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. When you brothers are in that spirit to comment, we do appreciate it. And, yeah, because we just got to keep it pushing. That's the Lord, you know, he speaks through men. I believe that's Proverbs 16:1, which I'm going to hold that too because why not? You know, the Lord put it on me to think about it. Just through the spirit, I'll hold it. You know, you never know what happens out here. That's what we're here, though, to be available. Just like you, brothers, if we don't get to your precepts, Salakia, but brothers understand. Brothers that come out here in camp, you understand this is a battlefield, you know, a war ground, spiritual warfare. But I'm going to grab this, Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahawah, thy God. The Lord, thy God, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So there's no equality when it comes to the Bible. When it comes to the other nations, we're not equal. We have to acknowledge that. But what we also do right now is we're just humble about it. We're not going to go up to Esau, you ain't shit. Give me my paycheck. Like, nah, man, we're going to play stupid. All right, hey, what up, you know, whatever the boss's name is, how's it going? You know, because sometimes they may not even be Edomites. That's how deep the Lord could be. They may act like it, they may seem like it, but the Lord may have that man go back to one of the 12 tribes. You don't know. That's why the scriptures talk about trying the spirits, and also, if possible, keep peace among all men. If it's possible, we're going to try to keep peace. But, hey, if we see you getting roused up, we're going to have to play, you know, have to tell you to move on. We're not out here to call the world. We're out here to call the chosen that the Lord is going to put the spirit on to come and listen, to humble themselves. But go for that, 7 and 14, Baba Kusha.
Deuteronomy 7 and 14. You shall be blessed above all people. There shall not be a male or female barren among you or among your livestock.
And this is ultimately if we honored the Lord. You know, I know a lot of our people ultimately are having children to be judged. You know, with the Northern Kingdom, I see it a lot of children popping up year after year. Now, I know some brothers like myself, you know, fall into that category, but hey, we got to only have fear of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, and if we be, you know, if the Lord shows mercy on us, maybe our households may be saved, but ultimately, this is about the Lord, man. We're not out here to be caught up in our families and whatnot, but I'm trying to say a lot of our people are having children just to be judged. That ties back to what within the Hebrews, when you go into it, the Lord can kill you, take your body, and then have you come right back just to be killed again, to be eaten by a missile. Because there's going to be pregnant women around this time too. So y'all got to really get right with the Lord, especially if you have children. You know, if you don't even do it for yourselves, at least do it for the potential of them. You know, that's, you know, the spirit to be in. Because, man, if you really cared about your people, you're going to serve Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, because he's going to take care of you. Like I said, if we be found, you know, in that lot. But if some of our people have to pass on, we can only hope to see them on the other side. We can't let that tie us up and think, well, why do I got to serve the Lord? He already took my this, that. No, man, just fear the Lord and keep pushing. Look what happened to Job. We don't even got to get into it, but that statement says a lot. Job lost his family, and the Lord gave him, you know, he multiplied his family after that family. But that's because Job was found righteous, man. He wasn't, oh, man, I lost my health, I lost my house, I lost my cattle, I lost my woman, I lost my children. So whatever lot we're in, we can only hope to be keeping our sanity in these last days. Because right now, man, it's really just a sneak peek at what's to come. The troubles now are nothing but going to amp up, be worse and worse as we continue in this journey. But we got the advantage right now. We know what's coming. We're out here to warn our people. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, like the book of Isaiah goes into. But I'm going to go ahead and jump to the comment board. So the brother jumped into the book of Sirach. Got a couple of them. So I'm going to grab Sirach 24:19. Come up unto me, all ye that be desirous of me, and fill yourselves with my fruits. And there you go. Say, come in. This Bible is known as what is that? Could be known as milk and honey, but there's another one, the whole roll. We got to eat the whole roll. We don't just nitpick. Well, I like what it says right there, love thy neighbor. And then you just forget who the neighbor was speaking of, what love was speaking of, because love is keeping the commandments of the Lord. That's what love is. And the neighbor it's speaking of is your own people, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, which are Israelites. That's who we're out here for. And you speckled birds who may look like other nations, but through your Father, you go back to us, our people. So come, hey, come and eat. Come and receive this fruit. Hey, with my fruits. Here's Sirach 24 and 22. He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not be amiss. Ooh, I want to look into that word amiss right quick. Can you pull that up out? A-M-I-S-S. Shall never be amiss. Or shall not be amiss. So, shall not do amiss, like you. But A-M-I-S-S.
Not quite right.
So it will never be not right, as long as we're with Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. So James, go.
Inappropriate or out of place.
There you go. The Lord's going to keep us in our place. Man, this is the spirit, because, you know, earlier I had went into it. When you're out here in this situation, we're not worried about civilian life. We're out here to do the work. So our people, we have faith in Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Our households are being taken care of. The Lord already has them where they need to be. You see? That's why the scriptures speak of not leaning unto your own understanding. If you left it up to us and our own understanding, we'd be doomed. But we leave it to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. We focus on the kingdom first, and everything else will be sorted out later. That's not our priority. Our priority isn't to make the top dollars in the city. We're not trying to be the #1 richest man in the world, richest man in San Angelo. Bro, we could care less. Spiritually, we already are. But that's through faith. That's through faith that we're gonna, be saved. And that all these treasures we're storing up in the heavens we're gonna see we're gonna reap physical benefits. But that's in due time. That's when the Lord deems it right, if we be those men. Let's grab James right quick and we'll get back to the lesson. James 1 and 12, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. And they're tying it back. The water Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. The brother got this precept. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So there you go. What is love? Love is to obey. True love is conditional, contrary to popular belief. This world teaches about unconditional love. Oh, stab me in the back 1,000,000 times. Misuse me. Make me go worship false gods. Make me eat pork. Make me, end up in the hospital for weeks at a time. Beat me up, black and blue. Break my arm. But I still love you. Because that's what Jesus wants. No. Who this world calls Jesus is named Yahawashi. And what Yahawashi taught was keeping the commandments. And the two main commandments was serving Yahawah, which we do in the name Yahawashi, because that's what he taught us. And to love one another, which is to keep all the commandments. If I love my brother, I'm not going to go steal his vehicle. I'm not going to go take money from him. I'm not going to go plot on taking his life. That's wickedness. So if you love somebody, you're going to keep the commandments. You're going to keep conditions. It's the same thing with your job. If you're a favorite employee at your job, I guarantee it's because you do what you're told. It's not because you decided, you know what, I know the boss told me to come in at 12, but I'm going to come in at 3:30. And he's going to pay me extra because I came in at 3:30. That's wicked. That's an unprofitable servant, which ultimately we are. There's nothing we can necessarily do to really be saved. This is all through grace and mercy. We just do our best to put on as the elect. You see? We're like a spiritual arrow pointing at directions for our people. This is the way walking in it. That's the Lord, setting brothers up and having them guide one another. All in the hopes of being saved. That's why we're deemed the hopeful elect. One can only hope right now. We don't have physical marks. We don't get letters in the mail from the Lord. Hey, you're going to be saved this day, this time. Count on it. The Lord doesn't give out empty promises. So when we speak of World War III that's spoken of through the Bible, that's going to occur. America is going to be destroyed very soon. This place is meant and set up to be knocked down, just like Egypt. When you get into this Bible, they speak of a spiritual Egypt. That's America. When you get into the meaning of Egypt, it means a house of bondage. We're in bondage right now. The nation of Israel are being held captive. Not like dramatic, oh, like in the movies, oh, we're tying them up, you know. But hey, we do have a lot of tie-ups. You know, I constantly hear my people crying about credit. Credit, if you can figure it out, cool. But hey, I figured out early that shit's like running on a treadmill you can never get off. You gotta be in debt forever. Because the moment you get the best credit score, 800 points, 790, whatever, you stop paying your credit cards because you say, I'm gonna cancel them. I paid them, I don't owe any money, I'm done using them. That credit score is just gonna drop. Ding, 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 ding. You got off the treadmill, man. You gotta be a hamster on that treadmill, keeping their economy running. Because really, you're paying them money that they don't have to work for. You pay it off every time, that's not gonna help your credit. You gotta pay a certain percentage. It's fucking, that's how Esau is, man. He's about confusion, because Satan's his God. Satan is the author of confusion. That's why this place is so damn confusing. People arguing over genders. Come on, how stupid. It's like kindergarten level type of arguments right now, man. You see? I'm gonna let that nonsense pass by. And I'm gonna grab this since I still had it on hold. Proverbs 16:1. This is to prove we don't have free will, and the Lord puts the Spirit on us to say what we say, to do what we do. Maybe on a comment board. This is the Lord's work. Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man. When we read heart in the Bible, in this context, for example, is your mind, your lab. The Hebrew way of saying your mind is lab, or your heart. The preparations of the mind in man, and the answer of the tongue is from Yahawah. So there you go. So hey, what we say, what we do, what we think is of the Lord. Because hey, yeah, Satan may be operating in our people, the wicked of our people, but the Lord allowed that to occur. Hey, Satan did his job right if you think that he has some type of ability to go against the Heavenly Father. The Lord set that up to allow you to think Satan even has that ability. He doesn't. That's why we don't have to fear Satan. You know, what we fear is going against the Lord. But ultimately, we got to rebuke and stand up against evil. You see, and that's through YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. We're able to rebuke, just like Yahawashi did when he was fasting. He had to rebuke Satan. What is that? 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐅𝐴 BAHASHAM YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM Yahawashi, BABUSHA, BABUSHA, BABUSHA. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name Yahweh, in the name Yahawashi. Please, please, please. You gotta, you know, 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐅𝐴 BAHASHAM YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM Yahawashi, BABUSHA, BABUSHA, BABUSHA. You gotta learn the Hebrew. You know, you gotta, you know, do what you can, whatever the Spirit leads you to. Because Satan, man, he don't like to see a brother in his right mind. You got to be prepared for that. That's why we study. That's why we come out here prepared. We're not out here clueless. We know who we are. We're here to tell you nations who you are. You see? This place, America, is meant to be destroyed. World War III nuclear missiles are going to hit this place. That's the second death. That's the lake of fire. America's not meant to prosper. But when you go into this Bible, guess what it says about Esau? That his land shall endure forever. That's what's set in his heart. Let's grab that. If you could pull that up, his land shall endure forever. Just put that on Google, KJV, and it should pull it up. And I believe Proverbs or Psalms, one of the two. That's the mentality of the proud.
KJV.
Okay. Or if there's another translation you may be interested, go for it.
Psalms 49:11.
49:11.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
And you can do the research. These lands were never named after what they're named today. That's all new. So-called new. You see? And that's the mentality of them, though, that they're going to endure forever. They're going to be here forever. No one's going to take them down. And that's because they've been prospering for so damn long. The Lord didn't have them struggle the way that our people struggle. You know? These other nations, they're going to soon have those curses on them. The same way we had them. It's reversing right now. Our people are... You don't see the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American against each other as much as it once was. You know, I used to be confused finding that out growing up. I remember my cousin went to a certain junior high, and they were my older cousins were like, hey man, is it still like blacks versus browns? Because that's how it is in these prison systems. They have Jake against each other. That's what they want. Esau wants our people divided. That's why Alexander the freak did what he did, divide and conquer. He divided up the nations, divided up religion, divided up you know, the household. Esau is about dividing us up, because when we're all in that right mode, we're all moving the way a vehicle moves. We're in that body, the same way the body moves. You can't have the heart without the brain without the heart. You got to have everyone's purpose set up. So that's what's scary when they see us in harmony. They see us all operating smoothly out here on these highways and hedges. They come out of there. I was really getting at that Edomite out here proud, just staring at me like he had something to say. But the Lord gave us this living water. We're just flowing through it. I could, you know, tell him what's up. I'll tell him he's an Edomite to his face. Not to be all, you know, high and mighty, but just really to show these people, man, we're not stupid. The Lord has opened us up to understanding this Bible, to understanding this so-called life, with the meaning of it. That's what we're speaking about, the meaning of life, the meaning of the beginning, middle, and end. Because we have a time-traveling machine, you know, if you can understand that. This Bible's nothing but the beginning, middle, and end. So what's going to happen to my people, with you other nations? What's going to happen to America? What's going to happen to, you know, anybody that falls for that hour of temptation? So let's jump back to that, BAHASHAM. Revelation 3 and 10, and then I'll hold what's next. Go.
Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all of the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So we grabbed that earlier, but the point I wanted to touch on more now is how the Lord's going to keep us. We need that. I need my power. Without that, what am I out here for? What am I on this earth for? If I'm not in tune with my power, I'm better off not on this earth. Because guess what? You're doomed regardless. The day of doom.
So, like you said last time, it was like a car without an engine.
Yeah, that's what the elder Apostle 𝐤𝐄𝐅 always went into. So like a car without an engine, it's ineffective. It's useless. And that's what the Lord's looking to do away with. Anybody that's unnecessary, excess. The Lord's about his balance. You don't add to that balance and make it, you know, of a perfection, you know, whatever lot you may have to fill, the Lord's going to do away with you. And that's what we don't want. That's why we're, hey, do good, like Genesis, what was that? Genesis 4 and 7 went into. Or was it 7 and 4? You know, the elements, his body's weak. But yeah, I believe that's Genesis 4 and 7. Because the Lord was going into it with Cain, because guess what Cain did? Right when the Lord warned him, right when Yahawah warned him, like, why are you upset? Cain said, I don't care about all that. He disregarded it and went and murdered his brother. That's the mentality of what we're dealing with out here. These Edomites, they don't want to see us make it to the kingdom. They're not rooting for us. It's funny, there's a song in the lyric reads, know your roots and who you're rooting for. So know where you come from, Israel. Know where you come from, Jake. Know your roots and who you're rooting for. Who are you rooting for? Because Esau pushes this vibration of, you got to be a wolf. You got to be a leader. You can't be like the sheep, man. The sheep follow one another. They're clueless. They don't know what they're doing. That's who you're rooting for. Whoever you're rooting for, that's who you're following. You're rooting for Esau. You're rooting for Elon Musk to get his Neuralink, because that's going to solve your grandmother's paralyzation. It's going to allow her to walk again. It's going to allow her to her stroke that she has, so now she can't move the right side of her face. That micro C-hip is going to allow her to have access to... Man, fuck all that. We're not out here to be a trans. Esau, if he's not coming at you to try to change your gender, he's coming at you to try to change your bio, what the Lord gave you. Because the spirit's electricity. We already got power in us. But Esau's trying to put a fucking metal little grain of rice in you to try to control you. Give you a headache. Give you whatever Esau's about to do to you. Because the Lord's allowing him to do that. The Lord gave him that understanding that left-hand knowledge. You think we're going to be worried about microchipping people in the kingdom? Come on, man. We ain't stupid. We're not like these people. We're going to have rulership over animals. Have an animal watch his ass. Hey, send that hawk. Go send that bald eagle. Esau loves eagles. He'll go tell me what he's, go keep an eye on him.
How like the kingdom of the apes, how all those big old birds just took them
Yeah,
out.
and that's beautiful. I didn't even think of that. The kingdom of the apes, the new film. He called on the hawks. I believe they're hawks or eagles. I think they're like the brown eagle. But yeah, because they were the eagle tribe or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, yes. But they were in tune with nature. Because guess what? The Lord set up all this. The YAHAWAH set this all up. The elect set this up. The 144,000, to be specific.
Same with the Avatar movie, how he was cool with the oddball whale.
Yeah, that was hated on, right?
Yeah.
My memory is blurry right now, man. But yeah, we're just going to be in tune because that's how the Native Americans were. Even like, that jaguar,
Yeah,
that's the Lord sin. The Lord has, he controls the animals. Yahweh has control. That's why, let's grab that in Sirach. Let me see if I can grab it right quick. Vengeance, teeth of wild beast. That's what it is, teeth of wild beast. The Lord can send a pit bull to take someone's life. That pit bull didn't move on its own motives. The Lord put the spirit on him. So Esau has to send radio frequencies. The Lord sends spirits, the father of spirits. Esau, he has his technology. That's nothing compared to what the Lord's about to give us with those chariots. So to appear as a cloud, to disappear, to shape shift.
How you mentioned technology, that, again, that was in the Planet of the Apes, how all that human wanted was
to access, right?
The signal.
Yeah, the radio, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They call that a satellite. Yeah, the
Satellite.
satellites. Yeah, Esau was that bitch. She was about to kill him too. That's why the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. As iron rusted, so does his wickedness. So in that film, you have an Edomite woman. And she's about to murder that. And the brothers hadn't seen it, Salakia, for spoiling it. But the main chimp, Noah, that's spiritual Noah was, showing mercy. Because that's how our people are. They're low-key, our people are just straight. No, not low-key, that's high-key. Our people a lot of them are stupid. They still trust the Edomites. They still trust that there's good, so-called good in an Edomite. There's nothing good about these people, even if they act cool to you. Anyway, she's holding onto her gun, I believe, while she's talking to him at the very end of that film. Showing it's about to pop off, man. She's ready to use her blessing. I seen a film, too, a bunch of hillbillies and their children at the shooting range, bro, getting down. That doesn't mean they didn't train for it, but the Lord gave them that ability to be into it. If the Lord gave me the spirit to be real into drawing or something, I could do that. If I was real into basketball, I could do that. But the Lord didn't give me that. He gave me the spirit to be attracted to this. This is my first love. And that's what we got to do, is chase our first love. But anyways, these Edomites, man, they have that ability to learn in everything about a gun and be a top shooter. Hey, like on Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, as stupid as he was cleaning his rifle real quick. And then one of the questions this drill sergeant had, I'm about to check that film out. That's a good film. The drill sergeant, why did you clean that gun so damn fast? Cause you told me so. Yeah, you seen that film, bro? Yeah, that's a perfect example of how Esau be getting down.
Yeah.
But yeah, stupid as that character was that Tom Hanks played, that nigga's evil too. He went to the Epstein Islands. He was on that list. These niggas are evil. They're Edomites. That says enough. But yeah, why did you clean that rifle up so fast? Like, God, that's a world record. And he's like, because you told me so. Bro, that's Esau, man. That's their blessing. They got the blessing of the sword. So you jakes out there who glamorize having your weapons, your guns, whatever, you're not going to beat an Edomite. You can't try to live by the sword. You're going to die by it, like the Bible goes into. So we live by the Spirit, because guess what? We're not going to die by the Spirit. I'm going to grab that precept the brother had mentioned earlier, because that ties perfectly what I'm stating. The miss, yeah. So Sirach 24 and 22. He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not do amiss. So we're not going to be found. What was the amiss? It was invalid or Aslak, yeah, just to refresh my memory. They shall not do amiss.
Not quite right, inappropriate, or out of place.
We're not going to be out of place, man. We're going to be exactly where we need to be in Jacob's trouble. So I got it right here. Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Anybody that has ears and has been listening and that's new to this, whatever, you have no excuse. I've said it. Jacob is you so-called Latinos, not Native Americans and blacks. And you Israelites that look like other nations, but you're through the Spirit, man, you're one of us. You are us. If you're somebody that may look like another nation, but you always were in tune with us, you act like us, you think like us, that's because you're us, man. Don't have doubt. Don't let Satan convince you otherwise. If you believe in the names Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, that's not a coincidence. That's not no damn accident. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. So we're going to be saved out of it. You know, the Lord's going to be right on time in any situation we may find ourselves in. The brother had a shift this morning. The Lord gave him the day off. That's beautiful. So that we are able to handle, you know, our what is that? Get our daily bread, because we had a little side job we had to take care of. But we had, more importantly, we had to come and handle this job. So now thankfully, we're out here at a decent hour. San Angelo's a bit dead. So Lord willing, hey, me and the brother could go travel to a bigger city. Because this message, man, whether we're in a big city, small city, whatever, we're just trying to make our effort. And the videos are going to get out there. The videos, we're going to flood the internet as long as the Spirit's with us. That's what we got to do, is constantly strive to make a better effort. Because the brother mentioned it last week. If you could grab that, I believe it's in the Apocrypha. But the one where you said, we can never worship him enough. I'm not sure exactly what chapter. You could try to pull it up. I'll look for it as well. So hey, get it while you can, Jacob. Yeah, Sirach 43 and 30.
43 and 30?
Gone.
Gone up.
Sirach 43 and 30.
And is it this one, bro?
Ecclesiasticus. Right there, 51.
51. Sirach and...
41 and 30? Yeah, 41 and 30. So it should be page... like around 100.
Around 100?
Yeah. Oh, actually, 96. Page 96. Oh, wait. I say 41 and 30. 43, 30 slot.
43, 30?
Yeah. Page 96. It should be it. Right here, bro. So 97 page, and then it's going to be up here. Right here. Verse 30.
This is 43 and 30?
God, we'll just call it out.
Come on, Ecclesiasticus 43 and 30. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can. For even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
And so give it all you got. We're never going to have a limit. When you think of the word limitless, that's the way you should think about serving the Lord. Limitless. You should have no limit to serving Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Now, the Lord's understandable. He knows we're in the flesh. We have to get rest. We have to eat. We have to go to work, provide shelter, clothes. But we understand, man, where is that coming from? That's coming from the opportunity that Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi gives us. So we got to take advantage of all our leisure time on focusing on the scriptures and going forward from that. Whether it be reading, writing down precepts, teaching a brother, uploading a video. Whatever the Lord allows us, we got to take advantage of our time. Because right now, hey, we're still having access to the internet. Right now, we could just Google something right away, but when Google ain't an option, you gotta hope you know these Bible verses, man. And that's why, like, I'll read that again. Sirach 43 and 30. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can. For even yet will he far exceed. He's going to always overdo whatever you think he's capable of. Because we can't limit the Lord. Satan will try to get in your head and make you think negative and do this and that. But that's when you have to be aware of it. You have to be like, why the fuck did that even come in my head? Some shit just pisses you off. But that's why you got to just, keep your head down through the Spirit and pray that the Lord has mercy on you, forgives you for your sins, and really comes down and gathers you physically, because that's going to occur. Then we could confidently say, as the true Christians, which just means follower of the anointed, then we could confidently say we've been saved. That's what salvation is. But continuing, and when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. So don't ever think you overdid it. Oh man, I served the Lord too much today. I need to slow down. That's a lousy spirit. That's wicked. But whenever it comes to you, man, you think that you deserve it all. That's how a lot of our people think. They deserve all the benefits of this so-called life. Man, you gotta earn this. The kingdom ain't gonna come just because it was set up. We're gonna have to earn it. We're gonna have to go through something, and that's why we're going through this time period. Just like we have before. Because if you can receive it, reincarnation is spoken of throughout the scriptures. This ain't our first rodeo. We've been through this. We know this. That's why, let's grab that in Sirach since we're here. One of my favorite precepts. Sirach 27 verse 9 in the KJV AAE. The birds will resort unto their like, so will truth return unto them that practice in her. Let's see if I can grab another translation. It's pretty plain, but I just like to see what's out there. But yeah, it didn't pull anything up. But yeah, the birds, let's break that down. The birds will resort unto their like. You're never going to see an owl chilling with an eagle. You're never going to see an eagle chilling with a pigeon chilling with a hawk chilling with a falcon chilling with a cardinal. The birds are going to chill with the birds that they are. Just like me and the brother. We couldn't be together if we were two different spirits. It's unnatural. You're going to have tension. Me and the brother used to have a roommate back in the day, a few years back. And that nigga wanted to rip my fucking head off because he was an Edomite. I put money on it. He was an Edomite because not only his appearance, but the way he felt. He had to act. As much as we try to make things work, it never worked.
The way he lived.
Yeah, the way he lived, the way he thought, we're just different spirits. We couldn't get along. So the birds will resort unto their like. So Israel is going to flock to Israelites. Me and the brother, we grew up bumping the Southern Kingdom. We didn't just, it's a so-called black, let me turn that off. I don't like that black music. But guess what? My father-in-law has that mentality. That's the curses on our people. Look that one up, I believe that's in Jeremiah. But just look up Ephraim envy Judah. Ephraim? Yeah, it should be on the sign if you need the spelling. Ephraim, yeah. Okay. Ephraim envy Judah. So that's what it is, the northern kingdom, because Judah is the head tribe of the southern kingdom. Ephraim is the head of the northern kingdom. So these two tribes can represent the so-called blacks and the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. Our people naturally had a division through the spirit because we always, competitiveness. You know how that shit goes.
Ephraim what?
Vex. Judah. All right, envy Judah. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, Envy, and Judah, Jueah, KJV. Because this is a sign right now. Because you see brothers of all the tribes gathering together. You see? But go for it, huh? And one thing that comes to mind before I forget, those two Judites, I believe, Judite women, Southern Kingdom women that came up last camp. The brother had pointed out to me, I didn't notice it, but when I said we were through the spirit cousins, she had like a stank face from what the brother described. But he said the moment I started breaking it down, she kind of humbled herself and realized, but that's those demons on our people that want to be competitive with one another. Because I heard it in a podcast too with the so-called Mexicans. They're not being accepted in the so-called rap culture. Same thing with that rapper Russ. Through the spirit, I believe that's an Israelite. Because he's a Sicilian, Italian Sicilian. He had mentioned he always felt like a stepchild in hip-hop. He could never really be thankful for what his accomplishments were because He feels like he's an outsider, an Israelite foreigner. He's an Israelite. He's just like Jake, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But because he looks like a so-called white man, he felt like he couldn't really appreciate, or he wasn't really getting the praise he thought he deserved, because he's not a so-called black, Latino, or Native American. He just felt like an outsider. But now the brother's going to read that to kind of prove what I'm trying to get at.
I believe it's Isaiah 11 and 13.
Oh, Salakia.
And it's Ephraim.
Ephraim.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Can you grab that in another translation, Baba Basha? I've never read it in another one. But essentially, our people aren't going to hate on each other and be envious.
NLT?
Yeah, go for that. Because our people are starting to realize we're not each other's enemy. I can't hate on my brother. My enemy is that dude that used to stay with us, man. Yeah, because we all like rented out a room. It was one of those like college dorm setups. You know, you rent it out, whatever.
Isaiah 11 and 13. Then at last the jealousy between Israel and Judah will end. They will not be rivals anymore.
And there you go. We're not going to be rivals anymore. So my father-in-law hates on the so-called blacks. But little does his dumbass know, they're the same people. Really, Nipsey Hussle, you know, even though he was in the world, he's back in the spirit world, back in his right mind. He broke it down perfectly. I don't know exactly how he started it off, but the overall message in this interview I seen a clip of, he said he was trained to find the guy that was just like him across the street and kill him. Hate on him. Be envious, jealous. But our people are starting to realize, man, Esau wants that. Esau will be whispering in your ear one thing and go to that other brother and whisper. He's an antagonizer. He's a serpent. He'll cause problems that aren't even there. And guess who's really good at that right now? The so-called black woman, the so-called Latina woman. All that gossiping, man. So-called Native American woman. They stir shit up, man, because they learned that from the serpent. Eve learned a lot of shit from us, the serpent. Eve representing our women today, and the serpent representing Esau, because that's what it is through the spirit. Nothing new under the sun. You had Adam and Eve, which is our people, and then you had the other people on this earth, because it wasn't just Adam and Eve. Christians don't understand that. Adam and Eve was the first chosen of the Lord as people. That's what we were known as at the time, Adamites. Then we went down to Noah, and then what did Noah have? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We were known as Shemites. We're still known as Shemites because we came from the lineage of Shem. Long story short, Adam and Eve, or Eve and the serpent today, are known as the so-called white man and the so-called Latina woman, the so-called black woman, the so-called Native American woman, because they trust in Esau. Esau is in favor of our women because guess what? Our women are naive. Our women lack wisdom. They're deprived. They need a strong leadership. And where do they find that? Through Esau. Why? Because he got that ching. He got that bling bling Lil Wayne rapped about. And then if it ain't Esau, it's the wicked of our people that have money on this side. Like a Lil Wayne. That Lil Wayne's a fucking weirdo, cockroach dude.
And like we were talking about earlier through the spirit, you only get rich if you're
evil. You know, to put it plain. If we're evil, we're going to be known, worshipped, praised, whatever. But it's funny because some people are not. A lot of people hate Lil Wayne. Well, guess what? Satan goes against Satan. Hey, Drake and Kendrick Lamar is not no battle of good and evil. That's both evil. Kendrick talking about praising Muhammad. Fuck Muhammad, man. Muhammad ain't saving nobody. He ain't teach nobody anything. They took scraps out of our Bible.
made it their own.
Yeah, made it their own message. It's funny because they contradict themselves countless times. But we read Jeremiah, right? I'm gonna double check the comment board real quick. Hey, the water. Let's grab these next two precepts and we'll probably wrap it up with this. It's been beautiful through the spirit. But this is going to be the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. So, hey, you find some work. I mentioned it to the brother earlier. Brothers have said it before. We could never be bored in this truth. You could always read a precept. You could always watch a video. You could always write down a precept. You could always throw up a prayer. You could always go on a fast. You could always go for a walk. It says, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave. So when you pass away, there ain't no, you already, that's it. You're back in the heavens. Whither thou goest. Sirach 13, verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. And there you go. So you're going to love your own people. You know, that's funny too, because I mentioned this yesterday. The guy we buy cars from, I felt like he always kind of looked out for us, because through the Spirit, I felt like he was just like a big brother. You know, not to be on some, that he ain't a brother. That dude's still in the world, but he always kind of showed some type of compassion. Because when I was catching hell, he allowed me to go X amount of months without making a payment. So what did I do in return? I did right and paid that car off early. So he always kind of looked out. And it's never on some proudful stuff where I walk in there like, yeah, man, I've bought plenty of cars. No, it was funny because me and my woman went up in there, and we actually tried to get another inquiry about a vehicle at one moment. And his son was operating, doing the work. He's like, man, y'all bought vehicles from us before. So it's just beautiful that, we were already in that spirit of we're just here to buy a vehicle like we never been there before. But his son acknowledged it. So tying it back, Proverbs 16:1, the Lord put that in his spirit to recognize us. Like, hey, man, you've been here before. I know who you are. But I don't ever walk in a building expecting people to know who I am. You just walk up in there, handle your business, and leave. You're not as high-minded like, Esau wants you to be. And them guys should know me by now. They should be kissing my feet. You know how many other customers may have done much more than I've done? So it's just, you always want to look down. You don't want to have that high mind. Let's grab that. We're not supposed to be high-minded. This is why Moses found favor with the Lord. This is why Adam, found favor with the Lord. Noah. A lot of people on this side try to be high-minded. That's a goofy spirit to operate in. Because it's nothing for the Lord to take your life from you, man. Break your leg. Put you in a hospital bed. Broken jaw. Come on, man. It's nothing. Because the Lord is not a respecter of persons. But let me grab that. Romans chapter 11, verse 20. Because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. Let me see what the next verse says. Behold, or Salakia, verse 21. For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed, lest he also spare not thee. And that's really because the Lord sent Paul out to gather up the Gentiles. The Israelites that were unaware who they were. That's known as the wild branches. You see? The natural branches were the ones that grew up in the truth. They knew who to worship, but they couldn't do it. So the Lord didn't spare them. He had to kill them. Look what they did to Yahawashi. They knew of a Messiah to come, but they didn't want him. They didn't like Yahawashi because Yahawashi wasn't living a lavish life. He wasn't acceptable in the eyes of the world, in the world of Israel. So what did the Lord do? He went off to gather up the Israelites that weren't aware of prophecies. They weren't aware of who they were supposed to serve. And guess what? The Lord showed his mercy. So likewise, that's everyone in this side right now is guilty of that. We needed to be taught again. That's why we're liking unto babes. We're starting from scratch. We threw away all that stuff we thought we knew. And now we're here to relearn, gather up information, research. Read just means again. Do it again. We're not the first or the last brother to serve Yahweh, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, to study, to research. So that's why, hey, it's really a call to action. Any brother or sister that may come across these videos, these clips, whatever, you got to be in that spirit of doing it, not only for yourselves, but for others. If you're a man, to teach. If you're a woman, to teach your children, to teach other women. Not your mother, because your parents ain't gonna get this, man. But you can't be dishonorable to your parents. You gotta still have some type of respect. You see? So, hey, with that, Lord willing, Yahweh Rawchaa, this lesson has been edifying. We would love to go ahead and close out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Rawchaa, Qadash. Shalawam to the hopeful elect. Shalawam.